Yeah, sure. I was just thinking we need a little bit of a plan before we, put it together and go into it. And Sam and I were talking a little bit yesterday. I think one of the big things for people pushing to Diamond is learning to talk about the business, learning to tell your story, owning that, getting over the fear of inviting to the business. And I really think that would be something that we could focus on. My brain's all wacky today, but that would be good. I don't know. That's about all I really had. I don't know. I liked how we did it last time where it was just, check in daily, but I think they need just a little bit more. What do you guys think?
What kind of daily check-in did you do?
We did the power of threes. So then they would just check in and say that they did their power of threes, and it was just showing up every single day. The first part we did have them do their whys. And I think that's important, but at the same time, I think they need something more.
Well, Brandy, what do you think? Because you went through it as, building yourself to Diamond, and I think you were Diamond a month and a half after we finished that group.
Yeah, I think you guys did the gratitude part, and I thought that was really good. I never thought about that before, so I think we should definitely do the gratitude. Yeah, all I really remember is showing up every day, posting like the picture of the power of threes. Yeah, like you said, we did the why. I don't know. I don't really remember too much outside of that, I guess.
Have you guys used any? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, have you used any of the back office script for Push to Diamond or the Emerald to Diamond group stuff?
No, I do have an Emerald group that it's just ongoing and open, and I have that where it's kind of follows that a little bit, but I haven't looked at the Push to Diamond stuff, actually. I can take a look at that for sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think is we're going to have a lot of the same girls that are going to be in this group.
Ah, gotcha.
When I was talking to Ashley about it last night, are you guys kind of on the same page as me where we should probably no more than a month, no more than 21 days? I don't know how long you guys want it to go, but this last summer I got put into Entrepreneur Academy, which was something that Misfit Republic and 3 other large teams kind of put on together, and it was way too long. It was 12 weeks, but they gave a ton of information to their people. But what they did is they did topics for each week. I didn't know if we wanted to do where we just shared no more than 2 videos. Maybe it could be our own videos or whatever, 2 a week or something. And then they had an assignment for each week. So Ashley, I can't remember what, but obviously the why video, I think that's really important. And then they do the daily check-in, and then there was an assignment to kind of complete from the week. And last night we had a really good one, and I was like, oh, that's really good. They probably, need to make sure that they get that done. So it was just one homework assignment for the week or something. What was it? Do you remember?
No. But the one we were thinking of yesterday was having them record themselves telling their stories.
That was it. So that they could share that for their sneak peeks.
So they can share it in their sneak peeks. And then another idea I had yesterday while I was doing my opportunity webinar that went awful, but anyways, is to have them throughout that month, maybe do an opportunity webinar with one of us. Or have them run their own sneak peek, something like that. I don't know. They just got to get over the fear of inviting to that and then start owning it. This is my business. I own it. And, this is my team.
I think one of the weekly assignments would be good about putting out that you're a coach and to recruit. Because that was once I did that one time, then it was easy. But that's a good idea. I never thought about that. I like the daily consistency. I'm a no bells and whistles. I don't like to add anything in. So I worked really well with that, but I like that idea.
What about focusing more like on the daily consistency? What about focusing more on inviting 3 people a day to the business, or at least 1 or 2, or I don't know what, come up with a number.
That's on the power of 3s. It's recruiting, wellness, or that's what I did. Or maybe it's on there, right? That you 100% recruit, you add your wellness group, and then a free group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I don't really have anything. My couple of people that I thought might be interested, I don't know that they will. So, but I'm happy to help facilitate. The other thing I was just thinking is maybe coaching them towards how to, and it could be one of your topics that you do like on a weekly basis, but coaching them how to get more comfortable with talking daily about coaching in their posts. So doing like what Bonnie calls out, like create your list of why you signed up, what held you back from signing up, and then how to create posts around that so that they're more able to share on a daily basis about the coaching opportunity and what coaching has brought into their lives, as opposed to just like post and then throw out like coaching opportunity or a biz op or something like that, or sneak peek, but really start helping to, deal with the objections before they even are approached might be an opportunity as well.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. And I think that start them in the beginning of the month doing that, and we'll have them work all month to show their sneak peek on their Facebook page. And then they either do an opportunity webinar or they do a sneak peek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that, and then just get them to feel more comfortable with that. I think that's great.
Kelly would be a good person to ask about this because she just recently started doing this, putting on her social media, and she's been in one Push to Diamond group. So that's what we're talking about. Kelly, do you have anything to add as far as like, because you're an Emerald, like what was easy, what was hard, what was like your roadblock,
I'm just getting over thinking everything is a roadblock. I mean, I still don't invite consistently. I'm just now starting to post consistently, but I'm not even working out every day. I still feel like a fraud half the time I do anything. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask, because I'm not even for sure if every day I'm there yet. I mean, I didn't make Diamond the last time I was in a Push to Diamond group, and that's because I wasn't being consistent and doing my stuff. Andy, come here, baby. So, I mean,
I think you're a perfect person to ask because, I mean, you're Emerald and it's a Push to Diamond, so what would be, to get you up there? I'm all about getting people comfortable talking about themselves. That's why I was like, when you do assignments, you report back with the video. Like, how many girls came back in that group and they were like terrified to do a video, even though we all know them. They're like, this is a video, when you should be doing videos all the time.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that it really just does get easier with practice, and nobody can say, this is the way you do it, and then you're like, oh yeah, no, it's not scary, because it's still scary every time, and then all of a sudden it's just not, and you just have to get to the point where it's just not.
And I think it's giving people not the content of how to do it, but actually you have to do it in the group. You have to get comfortable. Like the first couple weeks, maybe you report in here, you talk about it, and then you have to just get it on social media. It's just a small, like, getting comfortable in your head doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's totally it. I don't know if I'm talking over someone because my internet's so bad, but when I was in that Push a Diamond group, the more that you guys you said right off the bat, like, the only way I want you to communicate with us is with video. And I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be terrible. But by the end, you totally feel comfortable and it's no big deal, and now I feel so much more comfortable about being on video. So I think that's definitely a must in this group.
You okay now?
Marianne, can you unmute yourself? What are your thoughts?
Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, so I think a lot of it comes down to people believing that they can be a leader. And I think that we need to, because I was thinking about this actually last night. Everyone is a leader in the sense where, hey, where do you want to go out to eat? If you make that decision, you're being a leader. And I think that I don't know what would be a good exercise for that. I think the video is showing good leadership. I also think that, maybe some sort of exercise to prove to them, like, hey, every day you're a leader when you make the choice to do this, this, and this, and people are following you, and to share your story, like to kind of connect all that, because I think a lot of what I'm finding is a lot of people are scared. Like they're scared to do it, to post, or they're scared to ask somebody. And I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but I think there's some kind of exercise or something to help people have that confidence. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yes.
Did you guys think reading Go for No helped?
Yes, but what you said about they need to have confidence in being a leader, I think a good assignment for that, and I've tried this before with a few people, is find out what their strengths are, what they're good at in their business, and then have them go do a video and post it in the team pages, training on it, whether it be like 5 or 10, like 5 minutes, whatever. But they, go in there and they post it, and then people are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. And then that's going to make them feel like a leader if they do that.
I like that idea too. So almost like that empowerment thing too, where we kind of call certain people and say, hey, you're really good at this. I need you to do a quick 2 to 3 minute video about fill in the blank, and kind of show them that they can teach people and they can lead other people.
I love all that. I'm writing down all these ideas. I think what we're kind of getting to is like we're going to have some bigger assignments, like creating the training video, having to communicate via video, and the fact that Brandy said that was great. Like I'm totally down with that. I love and this would probably be one we want to do at the beginning, to create the list that Bonnie Engel talks about. So we could integrate the making your personal page into your sneak peek as part of the the power of threes. It's one of your posts per day, and since we're making that list, it's going to have good variety, so they're not going to feel like they're talking about the same thing every day. And we all know how powerful that was and how much that changed our businesses by posting about it. And then just having the consistency with the daily check-in of checking in with the power of threes. And then what it would come down to is near the end of the month, one of their assignments would be to host a webinar, to host their own sneak peek, or to host it together if there's some, a couple people that want to do it together even. So just the daily check-ins like we did before, which worked great. Communicating via video if they have questions or whatever within the group, because I guess I'm comfortable with video. And then I can write a list down of the different assignment ideas that we had, and kind of what order we want to do them. Obviously, I think that the Bonnie Engel one would probably be the first one they'd want to do. Sound good? 4 weeks? You guys want to do 4 weeks? 1 month? Well, February is a short month, but we'll do just through the month of February. Okay. And how does everybody feel about requiring that they be Emerald to be a part of the group?
I just listened to Andrea Crowder on the Misfit podcast, and she broke it down to, it's just like getting to Emerald every 2 to 3 weeks and whatnot. And I think it's a great idea. I was actually going to make a video today to post in Team Fearless to remind them about this, and that they have time to get to Emerald. It's it's only a week, and if they have no idea what even Emerald is, and they need to get into the Emerald group, just so everyone is. I think it's a great idea, but
it gives them about a week, and I think a lot of them probably have challenge groups that they're starting on the 1st. So they're talking to a lot of people about challenge packs this week. They're trying to lock in Success Club, and if they have somebody interested in the discount thing, if they're not to Emerald already, they'll sign that person up, and they'll sign up a spouse or family member.
Yeah. All right, cool. So does that give you guys some guidance on where that's headed then? Okay. So let's do a check-in maybe midweek next week and do a count and see who's going to be having people join and participate, and then we can go from there as far as who's going to set it up and all that, and how you want to break down the weeks, and if the different leaders want to participate and how you want to break up that leadership within the posting and whatnot. So the other thing we wanted to chat about was challenge groups. You guys okay moving to that now? Okay. You wanna hop in?
Yeah.
And
So I talked to Jamie last week after the call, and I was like, "Do you have an idea what you want to talk about next week?" And she didn't really have anything quite yet solidified. And I was like, "I really want to talk about challenge groups because I took a nice break for a while and tried to do like the concrete group and that Nicole does, where it's just like it's an evergreen group. It's always there. You add like every challenger to it, and with the hopes that it continues and it kind of runs itself. Mine does not." So, but I did a video on Team Fearless and my team page about how I was checking my like time hop, and this time last year was when I started doing a point system in my challenge groups, and I do a really simple point system now. It's like they check in every day, and then twice a week they can tag me in a post, because I was looking at my time hop and I was seeing like I was getting like 5 people a day tagging me in a post, talking about how awesome our challenge group was. So I thought it was so important. I'm like, I haven't been doing that. And then in February I hit Success Club 47, because I was doing that in January. So I just wanted to get ideas from you guys, like what you guys are doing that's fresh and new. Like, how do you keep those evergreen groups if you do them? How you keep them like going really well? Just things like that. Just ideas on jazzing it up and changing it up a bit.
So I feel like with the ongoing group, if you have so what we usually do is the person who posts the most, and you have to be encouraging others and posting, and then whoever posts the most gets a prize. And so that is how it is in the big group, and it does work really well, that bribery.
yeah, I agree. So I have an ongoing group that I've had going since, I don't know, September of last year, that it does kind of ebb and flow. But when I do like prize packages and do the point system, people come out of the woodwork. So especially a lot of the women that joined in the beginning of January, they were really amped about getting going and starting up their January. And I'm doing prize for the top 3 posters. And they're just going to be small stuff, but I went to Target and just hit up the front little area there. But, just like little things that just give them the reason to post, I have found has been huge. The other thing I do is I use Buffer and set up my Buffer for like the next like 10 days and just post random stuff, like recipes I get off the Beachbody website and different like why you should drink water, like that kind of stuff. Because even though others may have seen some of that stuff before, all the new people, it's new to them. And I figure that, even if the other people saw it in their posts or in their feed like 2 months ago, they're not necessarily going to remember it, number one. And number two, it's good for them to see again as a reminder. So Buffer's given me the content on a daily basis, and then I post my workouts and my eating in there as I expect them to do as well. So
I was going to add something before I forget. Also, I did this last year, and I need to do this again. Doing recognition just for your ongoing challenge group, like for the month. So at the end of the month, like congratulations to the top committed challenge members, and then you tag them, and then people see it on their page too. I used to do that, and that was really helpful. So I think having that recognition, and even in that so-and-so, let's carry is not a prize, to that recognition, I think is good.
anyone else have any ideas to add?
I do that survey that I sent, that I copy and pasted. I send that out like every 3 months. If I have people that I know that aren't either on it or they're whatever. I personally reach out to them and I talk to them non-workout stuff. I just connect with them in their life. I don't do any prizes. I don't do a point system. I have my coaches lead. So they're hearing from somebody different. I don't post my foods in there. I don't post my workouts because I do that all on social media. Because I'm like, if you want to know what I do, follow me on that. And I don't post a lot of food anyway. I do a lot of the story, a lot of your why. I have a lot of meaning into mine. I have a solid group that is continual. And I do a lot of the power of finishing a program. I do that a lot. So all of my girls from my Earned It group, they roll into my Life in the Fit Lane and they post their results. They post their takeaways. They post their pictures. Some months I don't have a lot of girls do it, but when I do have girls that do it, it gets people to come out of the work because they see the results. They see their measurements lost. They see what's good. And then I'm like, okay, who needs a new day one? And then I rolled in 6 brand new people from my Life in the Fit Lane. So then I get them going again. I started them on a new, the Earn a group. It has the same format. I'm like, this is what you do. Go through prep week a little bit, but this is your day one. Start them off with the calendar, the repetition, the X marks the spot, counter check Shakeology. If they're not on Shakeology, they learned so much more about Shakeology in an Earned It group. They just learn and it's repeat, repeat, repeat. And so I do a power of finishing programs. That's what I do in mine. That's how I get. Kelly's in my life.
What's your Earned It group? What is that?
My Earned It group is my brand. It's what I call my my brand new groups every month. So my Life in the Fit Lane is my concrete group, and then my Earned It group is what I just started when I first started this process. So I'm on to Earned It 7.0, I think now. So every month, so when they work out, it's #EarnedIt. When they counter check, it's #countercheck. I create hashtags and I create repetition, repetition, repetition. So when they go through their month or when they need to get back on track, they're like, oh, counter check, calendar, X marks the spot, neurological sensor. I talk about a neurological sensor the whole entire 30 days. So I'm like, I want to embed it in their head. I don't want them to forget about how good that they're going to feel. I don't want them to forget how good it is to do something for themselves. I continually ask personal development stuff. Every Saturday we do personal development. It's the same format. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. I'm a no bells and whistles. I don't like bells and whistles. I don't learn from bells and whistles. So I don't want them to have bells and whistles. And we have bells and whistles all around us. Our whole entire life is a complex, crazy. So the more that you can get them to be, keep it simple. This is all you have to do. In the Earned It group, I teach them, you drink your Shakeology and you work out. You don't worry about the time that you eat. You don't worry about when to eat, whatever. You just eat all of the foods and you show up with your workout. That's it. And you show up. Repetition, repetition, repetition. That's how I get people to continue. But my Life in the Fit Lane runs like butter. I don't even need to show up in there. So.
I'm just like, damn it, I wish my group was like that.
It's all about repetition and just the same thing over and over. And there goes bouts of where it's like, that's when I was like, okay. And I say it. I'm like, look, I'm bored. You've got to be bored. I'm bored. I just tell them that. And so then I go into my team page. I'm like, all right, coaches, who wants to leave in Team Inspire, or who wants to leave Life in the Fit Lane? That gets my coaches to put them in a leadership spot. It makes them feel like $1 million. And in my head, when Rhonda made me feel like $1 million, that's when I was like, okay, I'll step up. I'll be a leader. Make people make them feel like $1 million. Make them think that they're a leader without them, Then I get my coaches to do it. It gets them in thinking about Emerald. I'm like, look at all of these people that you're leading. You can do this. You need 2 coaches under you to be an Emerald. Then you need 4 and 4. And then their head, that makes it easy because there's 109 in my Life in the Fit Lane, and my 2 Earned It groups, there's 16 in each. So all of those people are going to roll into Life in the Fit Lane. So it just keeps going. So I'm like, listen, don't let the numbers scare you. If you can inspire all of these people, that's it. You've got it made, Make them feel like $1 million.
Yeah. What do you have your leaders do when you ask them to lead?
What do I have them do?
Mm-hmm.
Share their story, share their why they show up, and share what they do. Talk about themselves. Talk about yourself till you're blue in the face. The more that you get someone to talk about themselves, and the more that they're going to be like, okay, like I'm constantly telling Kelly, I'm like, Kelly, will you share what you're doing?
Well, and I led Life in the Fit Lane 2 weeks ago, I guess, and she didn't really tell me what to do. She was just like, hey, you're the boss of it. Go do it. I know you can do it right. So, I mean, she didn't really give me any, okay, if you want to be a leader, you have to say this and you have to say that. And so I was just like, oh, crap, I have to say something. And I wanted to make sure that I was interesting. So, you know, you throw in a video one day, talk about what you're doing one day. It's just, you know, I mean, as long as you show up and say something, then she's got it going where the interaction just kind of happens. So it's not hard to keep it going at this point. Mine has like 5 people in it, and only one of them ever says anything. So, you know, it's like mine, I think it's mine, Sam, is more like yours because it's not really working yet. But I don't know if that's just because I haven't done enough challenge groups yet to where I don't have as many people in it. And hopefully next year it will run. But it's nice to be able to, you know, be on hers and see how it runs because that way you've got a model.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Talk
So
about
I think
yourself.
Kelly,
Oh, go ahead, Marion.
I was going to say, I think Kelly answered my question because I was going to say, what about your coaches and their own people is what I was asking. So your coaches have their own group, but then they're leading your group as well?
No, Kelly's the only one that has her own. She just branched out this past couple months. But when I start my coaches, I start off, they go into an earned a group with me. They co-lead with me. So there's a chance for them to be a leader. They co-lead, they lead 1 week out of the 4 weeks. They learn from me. They learn how to do an earned a group. And they went through an earned a group when they were beginning out. So they know, I was like, you know the format. You know the format. This is just what you do. You lead from your heart. You lead with how you want to teach people. And I talk about that on their GSR. So then they do an earned a group, and then we roll everyone into Life in the Fit Lane. And I said, you can either start your own challenge group, your own wellness group. You can roll everyone in here, or, you know, we do an earned a group, and then, you know, we just keep it going. I said, but by the second or third time, I don't generally lead all of my coaches. They do their own thing by the second earned it group, because that would be their second time going. So, because they did their own and then they co-led with me, so then they do their own. But I don't have a lot that depend on me, because I'm like, you share you do you know.
So the earned it group. I feel like I'm confused. So the earned it group is for your coaches or for your clients?
They are for they're for me. They're for my brand new people. But I say coaches, to get my coaches to get their challenge back going, and so to get them to coaches and get them to Emerald and push to go. I say, if you have people, you know, we want you to get you Success Club, so you're not going this into the dark. If you're not ready to lead by yourself, then you go into an earned it group. But my earned it group is for my clients.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was kind of confused at what it was, but that sounds cool. That sounds really.
All right. Well, does that give you some ideas, Sam?
Yeah, and I mean, it's obviously, you know, you just have to figure out what works for you. And this gives me some ideas to revive that evergreen group that I have, because that was kind of my thought too, is like, well, I could let my coaches add their people if they wanted, and we were co-leading it for a while. But I mean, Brandy knows, it seemed like it was almost kind of like more work than it was helping, where everybody was signing up for like a day to post, you know, whatever, for the daily check-in. And it was just, I don't know.
If I have people co-lead with me, they take the entire week. They take week number 3 when they do an earned it group. If I ask them to lead in the Life in the Fit Lane, I ask them to lead for a week, and I don't even show up.
That's a good idea. But I had like, I mean, and this could totally work, but I had like 10 coaches helping me to co-lead.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I would do like one at a time. But yeah, whatever works for you. I mean, you have a lot more coaches than I do, so.
Okay.
So many options.
I know. All right. Anything else for the day? Is that Miss Sarah on the line?
It is.
Hey.
Yeah. Hi. Sorry, came on late. I had a meeting so late.
No worries. How's your foot doing?
I'm under my own power.
Oh.
So it's still pretty sore, but
Ouch.
we're getting there.
All right. Any other questions? We've got 8 minutes left on the WebEx.
I feel like everyone's mad. Is everyone okay?
Mad? No, why? I think we're all just thinking like, what could we do to like blow some life into our challenge groups and lessen the work, and wheels are turning.
Tired today.
Go have some Energize.
Or a nap.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
No, that's exactly right though. Jamie's right. Like my wheels are just turning. I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, where do I start? What can I do? And I got my notes. So
Yeah. Focus on one thing.
Well, I did just think of something. Sorry. One of the things that I do to promote, like when you have those groups where I do a 30-day group and then an ongoing group, is when I promote it and I'm talking to people, I tell them, well, you get to work with me for the rest of the year. That's what I did back in January. But, you know, they're going to get to work with me for longer than that if they stay in that group. But that's just another way to put it.
Mm-hmm. And then, Nicole, do you give them the option to move into your concrete group, or do you just automatically move them there?
Nope, they automatically go in there no matter what.
Okay.
Because that got messy. You'd have
Yeah.
to send individual messages. I was like, oh, heck no. You are moving over. So what we're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in my Earned It group, they're not required, but it's a thing that I promote to another hashtag, like be willing. They have to be willing to change. And I do a thing of when you do your why video, or not your why, your introduction, I make them introduce themselves. I make them talk about themselves, not about fitness, but like I just make them talk about themselves in the introduction video. And that helps out a lot because it helps to know like who you are, who you're working with in the Earned It group. So that makes them feel like a family, you know? So I'm all about the emotion.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks, ladies, for your time today. I learned a lot. I have a lot of thinking to do. I like the idea of the pre-group and then the ongoing one. I'm not doing that now, and I think that might be a good way to really give focus to your everyday or your new clients, Challenge Pack clients particularly. So that's great. All right. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll talk again next week, and we'll, I'm sure, be in touch over the week talking about the upcoming Push to Diamond. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.